So picture this, it's 2 a.m. I'm eating sad instant ramen. And suddenly my phone dings with an email that basically says, "Hey, wanna ruin your night?" And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly how my emotional downfall began. Now, let's begin today's story. I hope you enjoy listening. Emily Carter was convinced her life had a very clear dividing line, before the 2 a.m. email. And after the 2 a.m. email. That night, she collapsed onto her sofa, setting down a cup of instant ramen just as her phone lit up. A message flashed across the screen, "Urgent, need the revised pitch deck before morning." Somehow the word, urgent, always knew exactly how to spike a person's heart rate. "Don't read emails before bed," Emily muttered, "but it's fine, I wasn't planning on sleeping anyway." She let out a dry laugh. A few years earlier, she had been full of energy, with enough free time to choose a nail polish color based purely on her mood. Now, her mood took on the same dull gray hue as her laptop screen. Blank, underscore, blank. The next morning, Emily walked into the office holding two things, her laptop, and a Friday crisp mood. In the elevator, her coworker Sam glanced at her and said, "Emily, are you okay? You look extra tired today." She gave him a crooked smile. "Thanks, I really needed that compliment." Sam laughed, but his eyes said he was worried. Emily knew she wasn't okay. Everyone could see it. By midday, while presenting a new campaign to the team, a wave of dizziness washed over her. She steadied herself on the table, trying to smile, but the tremor in her hands gave her away. Her manager Maggie hurried over. "Emily, maybe you should take a few days off." Before Emily could answer, tears spilled out, one drop. Then another. The entire room fell silent. "Okay," she said quickly, wiping her face. "Maybe, yeah, I need a minute, or a week." That evening, she finally did something she hadn't done in 3 years. She requested a full week off. After sending her boss an email titled, "Taking a break before I become a zombie," Emily stretched out on her bed. For the first time in forever, she felt a strange kind of lightness. Not happiness, but a quiet relief. Like someone had loosened the invisible hands wrapped around her throat. Blank, underscore, blank. On her first day off, Emily went to Target, a place she believed Americans were scientifically proven to be happier inside. She planned to buy only toilet paper. But like every other American, she walked out with a basket full of questionable life choices, a tiny plant, 2 scented candles, an unnecessary notebook, and a hot bag of fried chicken. Back home, while cleaning up the mess in her room, she accidentally pulled out an old box from under her bed. Inside was her college journal, filled with messy handwriting. "My dream, to live freely, paint, walk through breezy streets, and never let work swallow who I am." Emily stared at the words for a long moment before laughing softly. She had really been that romantic once. She flipped through a few more pages and found an old ticket to a small art gallery in Brooklyn. A spark flickered in her chest. Maybe I should go back there? It wasn't like she had a better plan. Blank, underscore, blank. The gallery sat between old brick buildings. When Emily stepped inside, the scent of oil paint and soft jazz wrapped around her like a warm blanket. "Welcome, feel free to look around," a voice called. She turned and saw him, Jonas Hale, a young artist with intentionally messy curls and blue eyes that said, "I stayed up until 3 a.m. painting and I'm not ashamed." "Thanks," Emily said, "I'm just browsing, trying to remember how to be human." Jonas laughed. "Same here. Yesterday I had coffee at 10 p.m. and thought that was a brilliant decision." "I do that every day," Emily replied, "so maybe I'm beyond saving." He tilted his head. "Impossible. Anyone who walks in here is at least 40% savable." His humor drew a genuine laugh from her, more laughter than she'd had in weeks. Emily wandered slowly, taking in the vibrant abstract paintings. One caught her eye, chaotic lines with tiny glowing dots scattered within. "You like that one?" Jonas asked. "Yeah, it makes me feel lighter. Like no matter how much chaos there is, something bright always finds a way through." Jonas smiled. soft and sincere. That's exactly what I hoped to paint. Life is messy, but there's always something glowing if you look close enough. The words stayed with Emily long after she left. Before she walked out the door, Jonas joked, "If you ever need someone to teach you how to slow down, I'm available, though I occasionally forget to pay my electric bill on time." Emily laughed, not sure if that's inspiring or terrifying. Blank, underscore, blank. Over the next few days, Emily tried small, gentle things. She turned off email notifications for 3 whole days, a spiritual level victory. She made her own coffee instead of buying Starbucks. Turns out, making coffee better than Starbucks was ridiculously hard. She walked through Central Park and saw a tiny dog desperately trying to lick its owner's ice cream. She laughed so hard her face hurt. She opened her old paint set and created a picture so messy it looked like a malfunctioning treasure map, but she felt oddly proud of it. She met up with Jonas a few more times. He took her to a cafe that, according to him, looked like it was funded entirely with loose change. Everything was slightly chaotic, but also strangely comforting. They talked about art, burnout, and weird habits. Jonas admitted, "I once lived off canned beans for a week just to save money for paint." Emily nodded, "I once sent a TikTok link to a client instead of the actual presentation." Jonas grinned, "Yeah, you win." Their conversations were simple, warm, and real, like sunlight sneaking into a dim room. Blank, underscore, blank. A week went by faster than she expected. On her first day back at work, Emily felt caught between 2 worlds, the old, exhausting whirlwind and the gentle space she had just found for herself. In a meeting, Maggie looked at her and asked, "So, how are you feeling now?" Emily paused, searching for the words, then said softly, "I think, I want to live a little slower, and work a little kinder." She asked to switch to a less competitive role, focusing on community-based campaigns instead of high-pressure projects. To her surprise, her boss fully supported her. Later that afternoon, walking out of the building, Emily opened her phone, but didn't check her email. Instead, she texted Jonas, "Walk in Central Park? I promise I won't talk about work." A minute later, he replied, "Deal, but I might talk about how my plant died again. It's becoming a personality trait." Emily laughed in the middle of the crowded sidewalk. For the first time in a long time, her smile felt real. Blank, underscore, blank. The late afternoon sun filtered through the trees as Emily and Jonas walked side by side. No big plans, no pressure, no need to be impressive. Just 2 people learning how to slow down, slow enough to notice the small things that make life gentle. Emily tilted her face toward the sky and thought, maybe life doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe it just needs to be soft enough for me to breathe and warm enough to make me smile again. And it was true. Because in the days she chose to slow down, Emily found something she thought she'd lost. Joy. A joy small, simple, and beautifully genuine. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I wish you joy, good health, and success. I'll see you again in the next stories.